What up, B Squad? It is your boy JB, and we are here today with a brand new review for Love After Lockup, Life After Lockup, Season 4, Episode 46. The episode is titled The Ring is Off. So, before we go ahead and get into this review, if you guys are watching this video or any other video on the channel and you guys aren't subscribed yet, then do me a solid favor and stop taking out on this date and having me pay for it at the end of it. You guys know the routine. You can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and also by turning on your post notifications. And with that out of the way, you guys, without further ado, let's discuss Life After Lockup, shall we? All right, you guys, so we're gonna start up with Taylor and Chance, you guys. So it ain't really much with Taylor and Chance in this episode. We just see, remember, last week's episode, Taylor was giving birth to baby Mason. You know, they thought there would be some complications with the birth, but in this episode, we see Taylor and she gave birth to a bouncing baby boy, Mason. And, you know, Chance, they called the girls, let the girls see the baby, and that was really pretty much it, right? So then we later see Chance. So Chance told us that he got laid off from his job. You guys remember, Chance told us that he was making, what, $70,000 a year or something like that. Well, that money is gone. So these bills and that debt is finna grow immensely without that money coming in. I ain't got no comments on that one, right? But he hasn't told Taylor yet, and I'm like, why not? So you saw how mad she got when she went through your phone. You don't think she's gonna get even madder with you sneaking around and doing? I mean, it's better to be honest than to not tell the truth. Some of the things that Chance does are very stupid to me. Just gotta be real with you. Some of the things he does makes no sense. So then we see Taylor. So Taylor is on the phone with Bobby and basically telling Bobby how, you know, shit is just in disarray at this point, right? They have financial woes. She has this baby that she has, you know, they're trying to take care of. I was like, girl, did you really think about all of this stuff before you know, willingly got knocked up by him? Like, and I wonder, has she ever worked? Like, I mean, she had to, right? But you quit your job for what? You and Justine sound a whole hell of a lot alike, and I don't understand why, in this day and age, you would quit your job and rely on a man. This is not the 1950s, you know? So, I don't know. Very interesting. I'm going to pray for Justine, and I'm going to pray for Taylor in their situations. That's all I got to say. Like I said, there really wasn't much with Taylor and Chance, so that's really where we're going to stop it. So let's pause here, and we're going to go ahead and just move on to the next couple. Let's get Lindsay and Blaine, aka Mumbles McGee, out the way. So honestly, like I said last week, and I still stick to it this week, their storyline is nothing but a bunch of theatrics. So we see Lindsay. So Lindsay is packing up her stuff and she's going to be leaving. I'm like, girl, where are you going? Are you going to go to that trailer that needs to be demolished? Like, I was just like, okay. Mumbles McGee, aka Blaine, is trying to get Lindsay to stay. She doesn't want to stay. I'm like, oh my God, do I have to sit here and listen to this? It was just a lot. It was a lot for me. It was a lot for me to get through this episode, you guys. So like I said last week, I don't believe any of this stuff with them. There are a lot of these storylines on this season that I don't buy and I don't believe, and this is one of them. And the other one is Brittany and Marcelino, which we'll discuss them in just a minute too. But Lindsay and Blaine, I don't buy their storylines. So Blaine's dad came over to the house, right? Excuse me, y'all. So Blaine's dad came over to the house and was talking to Blaine about Lindsay. Blaine told his dad that Lindsay left. His dad says, well, maybe she just isn't the one. Okay. Maybe she isn't. Maybe your son isn't either. Oh, God, I just really don't want to talk about these two. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're boring. So then we see them as they're getting ready to go to church. I was like, how very random. But he told us the only place that he can go is to church. I'm not sure you can't get a job either. You guys sit in the house all day. Why? I mean, okay, I guess I really don't care. So we see them as they get to the church. So they are joined by Lindsay's mom and her daughter Miley Grace, right? So they go into the church. Now, am I the only one that was shocked that there was a bunch of black people in that church? I was like, oh, okay. There are black people here. So Mumbles McGee, aka Blaine, got up and gave his testimony. I'm gonna be honest and real with you guys. His testimony, I can't tell you what he said because I wasn't listening. Like, I mean, we all have been through some things. I know he talked about his mom and his dad. They weren't together. His grandmother raised him. I'm glad that he's on a straight and narrow, so he says, but I couldn't be bothered to give a damn. So that's really all I got for Lindsay and Blaine. I know that they had a conversation after the church, and I guess they're still going to be together. I don't know. I don't care. Let's pause here and move forward. So yeah, you guys, this review might not be long at all because this episode, the season is now really, it's kind of dragging itself along, right? Because like I said, quite a few of these couples, they just don't give me anything. Lindsay and Blaine, I'm not, actually that's what it is. Besides the fact that they don't give anything, there's some of them I'm just not interested in. Lindsay and Blaine, not interested in. Marcelino and Brittany, not interested in. Who else? Ugh. Let's just go ahead and talk about who we're going to talk about next. Let's just talk about, Marcelino and Brittany. Yeah, with Marcelino and Brittany, let's just keep it a buck with each other about Marcelino and Brittany. Their storyline, it gives a terribly written soap opera. It's worse than Tyler Perry's production. Because not Lindsay, but Brittany was in the parking lot talking about, I just want you to tell me that I'm your everything. I was like, girl, say what now? Yeah, I don't want to know that you miss Vegas. I was like, say what now? Run that back to me one more time. Run that back to me one more time. Then they get in the car. They went home. They were kissing, and I'm assuming they had sex. But didn't she just tell us in the last week's episode that they ain't really had sex like that? Brittany and Marcelino are full of shit. Like, period, point blank. I haven't believed Brittany. The last time I believed any storyline from Brittany and Marcelino was when it was with her mother, when her mama had relapsed. That was the only story that I believed, right? Because remember, mama had that she had burnt her nose. That is literally the only storyline that I believed from Brittany and Marcelino. Everything else since then, I have not believed it. The storyline of them with Brittany getting involved with that guy, and they went over, they were gonna make the halfway house or whatever they were gonna make. I didn't believe that storyline. I didn't believe last season's storyline of her sleeping with her best friend and them having a threesome, right? That storyline I didn't believe. Then I didn't believe the storyline of Marcelino was still trying to have sex with the best friend. I have not believed any of their storylines since then. Like I said, the last real true storyline that Brittany and Marcelino had was when her mom relapsed. That is the only storyline that's been real. Everything else has been a farce at this point. Like I said, them when they were doing that, I don't know if it was whatever kind of sober living house, whatever it was, that shit was never real. I never believed that storyline. I never believed it. When Marcelino didn't know how much money she had given away, that was BS. And then the threesome storyline, BS. Him cheating on her storyline, BS. What is this storyline? Nothing. Like, they have no storyline. They literally have no storyline. WeTV, why don't y'all just say fuck it and give them their own show at this point? Give them their own show. Get them off of Life After Lockup, because they are making things up at this point, and I'm tired of seeing it, and I'm tired of talking about Brittany and Marcelino. Brittany and Marcelino, damn, like y'all are WeTV's version of Kirk and Rashida, who would sell out their marriage for the almighty dollar. I ain't got nothing else for Brittany and Marcelino. If you guys want to chime in, please let me know in the comment section what you guys think about Brittany and Marcelino. I do believe that we're all on the same page about Brittany and Marcelino, but that's neither here nor there. Let's pause here and move forward. Next up, you guys, let's talk about Amber and Puppy. So, Amber met up with a guy named Ruben that she's known since they were in school, right? So I think she said his family owns like some Mexican restaurants in the area. So he was at an empty, restaurant. So he asked, and he tells Amber he's getting ready to open up the restaurant, and he asked Amber if she's willing to partner up with him, right? And she says yes, but she has to go half. Now I don't know if he said, I think half was $50,000. I was like, where in the hell is Amber gonna get $50,000 from? She's like, oh, I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna figure it out. I'm like, I'm sure you will, but how is the question? Will it be legal? Is the question. Will you be putting yourself back in jeopardy of going back to prison? Is the question. Because you nor TC look like y'all got a spare $5 at that. No shade to you or TC, but y'all don't look like y'all got it like that. Just saying. And she said she quit her job, so I was like, sis, where are you getting the money from? No one's gonna give you a loan without a job. So, or collateral at least. I don't know if you own a house, which I don't believe you do, but I was like, but it would be nice if she could do it, but I was just thinking to myself, how are you gonna do it? Is the question. So then we see Puppy. So Puppy is moving in with Queen. I am happy about that, but I do feel like Puppy's gonna slide and go back over there to Eric. I hope she doesn't, but she probably will, right? I love the fact that when Queen was talking to her, Queen just basically keeps it real with Amber and Puppy, and I love that about Queen, right? She's a real friend to her. Like, she's like, nope, no Eric in this house. And like I said last week, I am not going to say that Eric has abused Puppy, but that scene with them in last week's episode when they were in the car, it very much so gave abusive, right? And then the way that she talks, it just says abusive because she's talking about when things are good with she and Eric, they're good. And I'm like, that's something that typically abused people say, oh, he's not like this all the time. When things are really good between me and him, we're really good. That just screams abusive. But you guys can tell me what you think down there in them comments. And that's really all we got for not Queen, but Amber and Puppy. Not a lot happened. So let's pause here and move forward, you guys. So next up, let's talk about Eris and Cameron. So we see we see Cameron. So Cameron is outside and he's talking to his sister on the phone. And he's telling his sister what happened, how Eris wants him to go get a job. And instead of him going to get a job, he went to the studio. And when she found out, she got upset. I am so happy that his sister is a reasonable person, right? I know that I'm so glad about that because, some people be like, girl, some people like, what? Like, she got mad because you went to the studio? Like, that's your job. Like, that's what you do. Now, she did say, that is what you do, right? But then she said, what? Coming from a wife's perspective and coming from a woman's perspective, I'm on her side. Like, she wants you to have stable income, stability. She doesn't want, and here's the thing with Cameron and his music, right? Would I buy Cameron's music? Not necessarily. Does Cameron's music sound good? It sounds a lot better than Michael's. No shade to Michael, but it sounds a whole lot better than Michael's, right? But I wouldn't buy his music. And I think it's nothing wrong with wanting to pursue your music, right? There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But you now, like his sister said, you have a wife and you got a stepdaughter. So you can still do what you want to do on the side as a hustle, but be smart and go get a goddamn job. And so he said, do you think I need to apologize to her? She said, yes. So Cameron went inside to talk to Eris and he apologized to Eris, but it was a but in that apology. And the but was he doesn't know what he did. He doesn't understand what he really did. I was like, well, Cameron, that's not really an apology, right? If you don't understand why you're apologizing, then it's you don't sincerely mean it. Like, I know you don't want to hurt her, but to say I'm sorry and I don't know why I'm apologizing to you, that means you don't really mean it. Because if you knew why you were saying it, then you meant it. But he apologizes to her. She accepted it, and she apologized to him. Now I want to repeat what I've been saying for weeks about Cameron, right? I don't think Cameron's a bad guy, right? I just don't like that Eris made this life-changing decision for her and her daughter to marry him and to move him to Florida. And y'all hadn't really been with each other in the outside world. That's my only grievance with that situation. But you guys chime in the comment section below, and we're going to pause here and we're going to move forward, you guys. The next scene we got is Monique and Derek, you guys. So I'm not going to talk about it in this video. I'm trying to debate about when I want to discuss it. But I do know that Derek got arrested. I do know that Derek is bailed out of jail. I don't know why Derek went to jail. You guys can let me know in the comment section why he went to jail if you guys know the particulars. I know that I saw one of Monique's sisters say that Derek didn't go to jail for putting his hands on her, because I know that I could be wrong, but I know it was some kind of domestic situation, right? I could be wrong. Fill me in the comment section, right? So in this episode, Derek is wanting to go to Chicago to see Monique, right? He wants them to be in a better space. Derek no longer has his ankle monitor on, but he's still on papers. So he doesn't have a travel pass to go to Chicago, so he is really adamant about going. And I'm like, how are you going to go to Chicago with no travel pass? Because if you get caught, they're going to throw your little ass right back in the clinker. Derek is not, I'm like, that's not going to be smart. So he called Monique. She was like, why you didn't answer your phone? I was like, oh my God, who would want to be in a relationship with that? That is not something that I would ever want to be in a relationship with. Like, hell no, lady, get off my goddamn phone. So he told Monique he's coming out there. So then he was leaving. He told Big Ma he was going out there. He told her he wants to ask Monique to marry him. Say what now? You are not ready to marry that girl. And she is not ready for marriage. Neither one of y'all are. She needs some help. She needs some therapy. I don't know what you need, but you need something. So when Big Mama gave Derek $500, I was like, Big Mama, you need another grandson? Because I have a Big Mama, but mine isn't here. You want another grandson? Just saying, right? These are jokes, by the way. So Derek he left the house and he called his PO, right? She told him he can't travel. Now, she was a bit of a bitch, because, she told Derek she wasn't taking his shit. Now, I don't know if Derek did what he was supposed to do, because she said something. She said he didn't respond to something, but he told her he sent the email. But then she called back and she told him she got the email, so he does have his travel pass. I was like, she was kind of rude on that phone. And I was like, you know what, lady, you wouldn't talk to me that way. Ain't no way you would talk to me like that. But you know what? He's on paper, so he ain't got no choice. But let's pause here and wrap up the episode, you guys. Justine and Michael. You guys, with Justine and Michael's story in this episode, there were some things that really did kind of piss me off with this episode and this scene with them. It was Michael and it was Mocha, and more specifically, Mocha. So Justine is going through the financials and she realizes that I think $12,000 is missing. I was like, $12,000? Okay. That's a lot of money. How much money did Michael spend on that damn ring? Because that's really what the money went to, is towards the ring that he got for Justine, right? So he doesn't want to tell Justine that he got her a ring. So he's telling her that he invested in Bitcoin, this and that, right? And she's like, well, why don't you just tell me these things? And he said something to her. She's like, you know, that's why I had questioned even quitting my job in the first place. I was like, well, you the dumb that did that. Somebody, I mean, people could suggest stuff to you all day, every day. People suggest things to me. People suggest a lot of things to me. But do I listen? Sometimes, right? If it's something that I don't want to do, then if it's something I think is not going to benefit me, I'm not going to do it, right? But, you know, she did it. I really still don't believe that she really quit her job. I just don't believe that. And if she did quit her job, I don't believe it's because of Michael. If Justine quit her job, I believe there's something she's not saying. It could be just for the show. You guys let me know what you guys think, right? Now you guys remember that Michael and Justine are going to be going to Vegas so that they can, you know, look around and see, you know, where they want to stay at, right? So they get to Vegas and they go see Mocha. Now this is the first part where Mocha kind of was like, I was like, was it that deep? You know, I'm gonna keep my opinions to myself about what I was about to say something, but I'm gonna keep it to myself. Mocha, when Justine spoke to you, you were kind of rude and a little cold to her. Like the way you greeted Michael. Oh, what's up? And then Justine says, "Hi, Mocha." Hi, Justine. Hi, Justine. It was like, okay. So they told Mocha that Justine is pregnant. Mocha wasn't that happy about it, and I'm like, sir, what does that have to do with you? Like, you would think that Mocha is his long lost, like you would think that Mocha is the third person in their relationship and that they got to run stuff by Mocha because he wasn't happy about it. Then Mocha's talking about now here's the thing. This is getting on my last damn nerves, right? It's the fact of, oh, you gonna be a family man or you gonna be Montana, whatever his rap name is, right? Montana, whoever, Montana Mills or whatever it is, right? Oh, you can't wear your wedding ring because this and this and that. Nobody's gonna want to sign you because you're married. Huh? There are so many artists out there that are married. If I'm not mistaken, no, I'm not even finna use him. There are a lot of rappers out there that are married, and people still work with them nonetheless. There are a lot of shit. Let's even go one deeper. There are a lot of male rappers out there that got baby mamas galore, and they still get work. They still be in them studios. They still be on tours. The baby, like, I was just like, what is he talking about? Like, it made no sense to me. I just don't like. I'm tired of the conversation about him having kids and the wedding ring, because he's talking about you gotta take off that wedding ring. You gotta take that wedding ring off. Like, who are y'all? What are y'all trying to? Are you trying to get him laid? Like, that's really what it sounds like. Are you trying to get him to have sex with women to get somewhere in the music game? Like, I'm so confused by that situation. But that's really all I got for this episode. It really wasn't much to it. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Subscribe to the channel. Turn your post notifications on. Share the video, you guys. And until the next time, stay safe. Take care of yourselves. Wash your hands. Be blessed. And I'll see you guys in the next one.